Hello guys, this is Dr. Palaniappan Manikam. In this video, we're going to talk about Omicron, whether what to do if you're vaccinated, what to do if you're unvaccinated, what to do if you don't know what to do. Let's dive deep into it. So let's see what happened in South Africa. Omicron was found in November 2021. COVID was found in China in November 2019. So it is exactly 2 years since the start of COVID. It is almost looks like COVID is applying for medical license renewal every 2 years. So in these 2 years, there have been multiple variants. The most lethal variant is Delta variant and the most contagious variant is the Omicron variant. Delta variant is like our Idayam Murali. Omicron variant is spreading so fast like our Minnal Murali. So there are two things that is happening very characteristic of Omicron is it is spreading so fast but the hospitalization rate is extremely low. So let's see why that is, because this Omicron variant is mainly affecting the upper airways, nose, throat, posterior pharynx, the throat cavity. So it's only in the upper airways. It doesn't migrate that much into the lower airways. So the diseases like pneumonia, oxygen requirement usually happens when the virus enters the lower airways and affects the lungs. So since the virus is involving just the upper airways, though the hospitalization rate is low, the spread is significantly high because it easily spreads to people during talking, coughing, sneezing, and also watching Netflix. And it doesn't spare anybody either. It is actually involving more of the kids, adults, men, women, doesn't matter whether you are a DC fan, Marvel fan, or Ambala Vishal fan. This is what we're exactly seeing here in United States, especially in California where I work. The number of rates is extremely high. So every other person is getting infected with COVID, but the hospitalization is relatively low because of all the reasons that we cited above. The another main problem is that this infects even people who are completely vaccinated, even who have received their booster dose. It protects only 37% from actual infection, but significantly more, close to like 90-95% for hospitalization and death. But why this is only 37% protection is because it is mainly involving the upper airways. It replicates so fast, so the immunity generated in our body, either because of previous exposure or because of vaccination, it doesn't give that much time to attack the virus. Even before that, it makes a copy of itself and keeps going. Omicron is like my wife who calls me and immediately tells the list of grocery items to buy at such a rapid pace and then cuts right away even before I respond. So many people have asked me why vaccinated people are getting Omicron, why we are getting infected even after vaccination is exactly because of this mechanism. So then what is the advantage of vaccination in this population is that if you are vaccinated, in case if the virus goes down from the upper airways to lower airways and causes significant damage to your lung, it will prevent that damage to almost zero. So you don't have to be hospitalized or definitely death doesn't happen. But in case of unvaccinated, that protection is not there. And that is why we have been like shouting from the top of the roof, please get vaccinated. So it's almost like Omicron and Delta are traveling together in a train, and Omicron has given the senior citizen Delta the lower berth and it takes the upper berth for the body. All unvaccinated people are like Omicron illati Delta, Trisha illati Nayandara, but vaccination illati hospitalization da. So there is no point in arguing whether vaccination works or not. We have been beating this bush almost down to death for the last like year and a half that vaccination definitely prevents death, prevents hospitalization. That is what you need in a pandemic. So even if you are not believing in vaccination, there is no data to support your line of argument. It is almost like vaccinated people are SSLC fail, unvaccinated people are 8th class pass. So the likelihood of hospitalization was close to like 45% in Delta when India was hit really bad in April, May of 2021. But it's only like 20% here with Omicron, which is very, very reassuring. But 20% of a bigger number of 10,000, 20,000, 1 million is significantly high, and that will be equal to the 45% of Delta virus even if the infectivity rate was low. That is why we are concerned about this Omicron variant. And the other problem with this, everybody now they say that Omicron is very mild. Omicron, even when they say that, they are saying it very slowly because it is very mild. But that might not be the case, because even though the deaths are fewer, deaths are happening. So we need to make sure that the high risk vulnerable patients are completely protected. That is where the booster dose comes in. In India, it's called precaution dose. I would not say it is a precaution. It is an absolute must dose for this high risk population. So it is very clear that if you're 60 plus and if you have any other significant problems, you should get boosted. And there is a question about what is the significant problem. My friend Saravana Kumar calls me and says that, hey, bathroom kolaila thanni varala, that's a significant problem for me. When can I get boosted? So people keep on saying diabetes, obesity, hypertension, cancer, pregnancy as a high risk profile. But simpler way to do this is if you measure your waist circumference, and if it is more than 90 centimeters in men and more than 80 centimeters in women, in my opinion, you are at high risk and I would recommend you to get a booster as soon as possible. So I can guarantee you that if this group of population gets booster vaccinated, there will be no deaths and the hospitalization will be extremely minimal. So vaccination is like the security pattern for your Android phone. Virus can try to crack down the pattern, but even if Picasso can come in, they will not be able to draw the diagram. So then comes a big question of whether you got infected with COVID in the past, whether you really need a booster dose. The problem is natural immunity after being exposed to a COVID virus weans down significantly after 3 months and almost dies down after 6 months. So it will not give you a lifelong protection. Vaccine-induced immunity lasts longer than the natural immunity. So if you think that you got infected with COVID, you will not get a booster, I think you should contact my friend Saravana Kumar. He thinks he is patriotic because he drinks saffron tea in the morning, milky white tea in the afternoon and green tea in the evening to build up his natural immunity. So immunity from a natural infection of COVID is like getting into a bus and thinking that randomly it will take you to your native place. But after vaccination, you will know that you will definitely go to your native place if you get into a random bus. So what does this all mean? It means that Omicron is going to infect everybody no matter what. It is just a matter of time. It is not will it. It is a matter of when it is going to infect, right? But the biggest advantage and the reassuring factor is that if you are vaccinated, there is no need to worry about hospitalization or death. And I can guarantee you that it is much, much less severe than Delta. But if it is unvaccinated, then the risk goes significantly high. Omicron is almost like a marriage. It is bound to happen whether you like it or not. And yes, Omicron is not like Delta. Delta hospitalization death was significantly higher. Delta கருப்பா பயங்கரமா இருந்துச்சுன்னா Omicron பயங்கரமா கருப்பா இருக்கும். Actually, there is some data that if you get infected with Omicron, the antibodies developed against Omicron is also protective against Delta. How beautiful this is. I think this is the start of the end of pandemic because Omicron will infect so many people. There will be like herd immunity. And I think similar to what happened in South Africa, the acute rise in cases will die down within a span of couple of weeks or maybe 1 or 2 months. But eventually it will die down and the severity will not be this much, and eventually what will happen is this will become like a seasonal flu where we get vaccination for flu every year. We'll get vaccinated for COVID virus every year. Hearing that Omicron infection can actually protect against Delta variant, my friend Saravana Kumar is actually voluntarily going to get infected with Omicron. Actually, Omicron should get vaccinated with this virus called Saravanacron. So how about kids? Yes, Omicron infects kids more than Delta, at least 5 to 10% more than Delta, but fortunately the severity has been still continues to be mild, especially if your kid is vaccinated. The risk of severe complication like MIS-C is extremely low. So in United States, all kids more than 5 years of age can get vaccinated, so I would vaccinate them in a heartbeat. In India, kids more than 16 or 15 years of age can get vaccinated, so I would not hesitate to vaccinate them at all, because even though the likelihood of extreme complication of MIS-C is extremely low, I don't want my kid to be that kid with the extreme complication. In general, Omicron is really good with the kids. It is like the very good villain who kidnaps the kids but gives chocolates to them to keep them happy. So let me wrap this video with few important points that you should know. Number one, about masking. Since Omicron rapid infectivity is so high, the regular cloth mask, no matter how much you cloth over, single layer, double layer, triple layer, is not going to prevent. I would recommend a well-fitted surgical mask. So when you have a surgical mask, it has to fit along your nasal lines as well. So it cannot be loose. And if you are high risk, like 60 plus, or if you have any other medical problems, you have to wear an N95 at least for the next 2 months. So please do your research when you're buying an N95 mask, because it has to be fitted according to your individual facial characteristics. My friend Saravana Kumar bought a mask. It just has 95 in it. It doesn't have N. And number two, closing schools is not a good idea, because online schooling has been going on for the last year and a half, and we know how bad it is, both for the kids and also for the family members in general. Mental health of the kids is extremely important, because Omicron is relatively safer in kids, and if they are vaccinated or if they are being surrounded by a group of vaccinated people, I think it is totally reasonable to get that social development going, so they don't have any mental delay in terms of their growth. I went to my friend Saravana Kumar's place just like that. I walked into a room, his son was on the ground doing like this. I was like, what are you doing? He said, online swimming class. And number three is testing. We should increase testing as much as possible. And if you test positive at home with all these rapidly available antigen tests, it is absolutely okay to stay at home, quarantine yourself for 5 days if you only have like mild symptoms and if you're relatively healthy. And especially if you get vaccinated, I can guarantee you that the dominant strain is Omicron. So you will be completely okay. There is nothing to be panicked about. My wife's friend tested positive with a rapid antigen at home kit. She was so curious whether it could be a Delta variant or Omicron variant. It is almost like a positive pregnancy test and asking me whether it is a boy or a girl. And number four is, we don't need lockdowns. We have suffered economic disaster so much in the last 18 months. Because we have vaccine availability now, lockdowns might not help. It might actually worsen the clinical depression that we are in already. So the alternative method is to create some social responsibility for high risk population, for 60 plus and people with individual medical problems. They can protect themselves by staying at home, and healthy people who are vaccinated, who got boosted dose, can actually roam around and actually stimulate the economy, so that we don't have to affect the daily wage workers with the lockdown. And the last thing I want to mention is that oral tablets for COVID, it doesn't work as much as what you think. It has to be taken within the 5 days of symptom onset. If you take on the 6th day, it doesn't work. It is only helpful in certain subset of patients where they progress from mild to moderate to severe disease. So don't spend your money on that. If you are vaccinated, if you're relatively healthy, stay at home. This disease will go away and everything will be fine within a span of 1 to 2 weeks. So the biggest question is, when will this all end? So based on the South Africa data, even though the surge was significantly high, it came down as rapidly as it went up. So I'm anticipating that even though the case volumes are so high, it will come down as soon as it was in South Africa as well. So maybe in the next couple of months, probably around like April or May, we would see an increase in herd immunity, and probably because it is giving some protection against the Delta variant as well, we might be nearing the end of the pandemic. It is going to get worse before it gets better. So probably around May, June of this year, we should be definitely out of this almost completely. Why I have been emphasizing on vaccination is that unvaccinated people shed the virus more than the vaccinated people. It doesn't mean that vaccinated people doesn't shed. They also shed the virus, but not as much as the unvaccinated people. So you don't need oral tablets for COVID infection. The actual need of the hour is oral education to these unvaccinated people to get vaccinated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.